also with your mayor, Knox White. Mayor White, say hello. Where'd you go? There he is right here. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to have the Governor McDonald here from Virginia, to have your own great governor, one of the great governors of this country, Nikki Haley, on her birthday. And I have with me someone who I like to spend a lot of time with. An extraordinary person who I fell in love with, well, 40 some odd years ago. And I can tell you this, I've introduced her a lot, and people have heard me introduce her before, and so I'll just say this about her. She's a person of great dignity, of great compassion, of great courage. She's overcome great challenges in her life. She has MS, and she battles that effectively. She's had breast cancer, she's battled that effectively. She's the mom of 5 sons. She battled them effectively. And she's the grandmother of 16. And she's the light of my life. I love this woman. Please welcome, I believe, the next First Lady of the United States.
After we stepped away and McCain took over, I said, you know what? I'm never doing that again. And Mitt laughed and he said, you said that after every pregnancy. Which is true, and I do have 5 boys. And it was a year ago that I turned to Mitt, and I had the same concern that every single person in this room has. America was going in the wrong direction, and we were really upset with the direction that the country was going. And I turned to Mitt and I said, I don't know who's going to be running against you. I don't know whether you can win or lose. I'm not asking you any of those questions. I'm asking you this question. Can you save America? And let's give him a chance to do it.
She's quite a person. She's an extraordinary person. This is an important time. This is a critical time. You're about to vote tomorrow. You're going to get up bright and early. Polls open 7 a.m. In some places you can vote multiple times. But not here. So here's what I want you to do. Yeah, Chicago, yeah. I want you to make sure and get someone else to vote with you. Call a neighbor, call a friend, make sure that someone who you know in your circle that may have forgotten tomorrow is going to be primary day to get out and vote with you. And if they don't know how to vote, why give them a little help, and you can, because it's important. This is a critical election. You know, the president this morning sent his head of the Democratic National Committee to go on Fox TV. It was very interesting. She had only things to say about me. I was very complimented. Nothing about the other guys, just me. Can't imagine why. And she talked about all this great work the president's doing. How wonderful the economy's doing. Do you feel the economy's doing real well right now? Do you think we need to have someone who actually knows how to create jobs in the White House? Do you think it's time to have not just a change, but some hope in America again? Well, I'm absolutely convinced that you're right, and that Debbie Wasserman Schultz is wrong. I recognize this election is going to be a very distinct choice between 2 very different paths. One path is represented by a president who believes that we should fundamentally transform America, is what he says. My view is that what we should do in this country is to restore the values that made us the greatest nation on earth. He has been comfortable with growing our government. He's been adding government employees. Did you know that? He's added 135,000 new government employees in Washington and around the country. At the same time, the private sector has shrunk. His stimulus didn't stimulate the private sector. Let me tell you what I'll do. I will shrink the size of the federal workforce through attrition by about 10%, and I'll do this. I will link the pay of people in government with the people in the private sector. I don't think government servants should get a lot more money than the people who are paying for them. Now there's another difference. This president wants to spend more and more money. He's comfortable with the idea of trillion-dollar deficits. He was critical of President Bush because of President Bush's deficits. His are 3 times as large. He's on track in his first term and his only term. He's on track to put together so much debt he will almost equal all the debt of all the prior presidents combined. This is where he's going. If I'm president of the United States, I will do what Jim DeMint has been calling for a long, long time. I will cut federal spending, not just slow it down. I will cut federal spending. I will cap federal spending, and we will finally have a balanced budget. This is a president who thinks that the right course for our health care is not for you to make decisions as to what kind of insurance you want, what doctor you want, what coverage you want, what care you want, but instead to have the federal government make those decisions for you with something called Obamacare. My view is that we should, number 1, repeal Obamacare and return responsibility to the states for caring for their own poor, and return responsibility to the people of America, their responsibility for their own care and their own treatment in their own homes with their own doctors and the people of their choice. And that's what I'll do. This is a president who has a very unusual view of free enterprise and capitalism. It begins with a sense of what people call crony capitalism. The idea that his job is to take care of his friends and make decisions not that the market makes, but that he makes, because he's so very, very intelligent. So, for instance, he's able to look at all of the different solar energy companies, all the different solar technologies in America, and he and his people can figure out which one is best. Yeah, Solyndra, yeah, they can pick that one. And they can put $500 million into Solyndra. By the way, just to let you know how the market works differently. When we helped start Staples, the office superstore, which now employs about 90,000 people today, do you know how much money went in to get that started? About $5 million. And the headquarters was in the back of an old shopping mall, an abandoned shopping mall. And the chairs that we sat in were Naugahyde chairs, used Naugahyde chairs. Killed a lot of Naugas to get those babies. And so we had a $5 million start, and the Solyndra people had this big glass monument. That's what happens when government gets involved, and of course it also went through bankruptcy. He's gone through bankruptcy and liquidation. He has the view that with regards to something like labor issues, that he knows better than the workers of America. He doesn't want them to have a secret ballot. He doesn't want to have the people of South Carolina be able to welcome a company like Boeing. He doesn't like the idea of right to work, where people have a choice to either join a union or not. His view about capitalism and free enterprise is that he wants to change it and guide it from Washington. I want markets to guide our economy. Markets are the source of